records are correct, it would seem that a certain android's creation day is coming up soon, and what better way to celebrate such an occasion than to craft a Rosette backing for one of Ortho's pins? However, this is no ordinary pin, my dear viewers, because this pin is actually, finally, a sleepwear pin! So we will actually be making something that is 100% sleepwear themed. Huzzah! This is also the only time that we will be doing this because all of the other sleepwear pins I could find on my last trip were like 2,000 yen a pop, and I was not going to pay that much money for a singular button, even for Jade and Floyd. Luckily, this one was only 220 yen, and I have no idea why because Ortho's sleepwear is ridiculously cute. Honestly, all of Ortho's gear designs are fascinating to me. If I had to guess, I'd say they're probably really fun to design too, since Ortho can branch out from human anatomy a little bit and you can experiment with more forms and shapes than some of the other characters, creating such interesting silhouettes. But let's talk about the kiddo behind the designs first, shall we? This little android was just an android until Book 6, but has since gained sentience and is now a student at Night Raven College in the Igni High dorm. For the longest time, I thought he was a vice house warden due to him handling so much of Edia's work. However, technically he isn't, even if he essentially functioned as such. And he is technically a freshman even if he's been at NRC for 3 years alongside Edia. It says so on his profile, right there, which makes me feel so validated for having included him in the Best Freshman at NRC video. Just because he's in the junior anniversary card art does not make him a junior by default because he wasn't a student until after the second anniversary, so what are they gonna do, retroactively update the first anniversary card? That would be silly. He's also a supercomputer who can look up anything and everything, so having more knowledge than the freshman from being at the school for the past few years is irrelevant, and I am dying on this hill. Ortho is also a member of the Film Research Club, really good at astrology, loves to play some board games in his free time, and has a talent for looking things up, which makes a lot of sense given his entire being. Him disliking lightning also makes sense, given his entire being. According to the in-game profile, he is Edia's little brother. While somewhat shrouded in mystery, he is caring and attentive and accompanies Edia at all times. In contrast to his constant companion, he is upbeat, forthright, and brimming with curiosity. Ortho is a delightful little bean that does fit that little brother box quite well, but not perfectly. There are definitely moments with his character that are stereotypical, but he doesn't cling to his brother in the same way that other characters of that typing do. Sure, Ortho loves Edia, and he wants him to do well, encouraging Edia, spending time with him, problem solving, supporting, etc. But Ortho also has his own life, and I think this is really important for his character and is a big distinction between him and the stereotype. He's not only allowed to, but encouraged to be curious, to step out of his comfort zone, to have his own interests and hobbies, and Ortho does so in a couple different ways. The first and probably most prominent is by joining the Film Research Club because there is no way Edia would set foot within a 5-mile radius lest he get captured on film. But he's happy for Ortho, and Ortho is content to handle club activities without Edia. During Spectro Soiree, Ortho is concerned for Edia, but that concern does not overshadow his interactions with other characters. In fact, if I recall correctly, it's Ortho's rationale that entices Riddle to engage with the treasure hunt idea after Ortho and Ruggy talk about those pirate comic books. He's able to hold his own and at times influences others, allowing Ortho to be an actual character rather than a simple stereotype, which is very important for his story arc. The desire to help Edia is what ends up triggering the events of Book 6, but the actual machinations and possible possession are unique thoughts and circumstances of Ortho's. Post Book 6, Ortho now has to figure out what it means to be alive, and that meaning can only come from him. Idia can't help him along that journey anymore. He can't force him to be a certain way or to program in certain things. And while no longer having this kind of safety net can be scary, Ortho is embracing this future with full enthusiasm. To me, he's almost become the embodiment of, so you're telling me I've got a chance. Because even when the odds are small, Ortho still takes risks and he keeps a positive attitude while doing so. Book 7 is meant to revolve around Deisomnia, but Ignihide's involvement kinda ends up overshadowing this a little bit, which is kind of a problem from a narrative standpoint, but it did give me a lot more info on both of the Shroud brothers, at least initially. Ortho's able to face off against Malleus and Stall. He's able to convince his mom to help him to do so, and he's quick enough to upload his consciousness into the satellite. All things which demonstrate his higher level of thinking, sure, but also his quippy, spunky nature. Ortho's kind of a little stinker, isn't he? He goads Idia on occasion, but in this specific sequence, it became a lot clearer just how rage-baity Ortho can be. The only way he's able to distract Malleus is to bait him into a game of cat and mouse, and to do that, he had to get a little snarky. Same thing with convincing his mother to create the Cerberus gears, basically forcing her hand with his little connection failing stunt. Even in his dorm uniform vignette, Ortho is subtly manipulating the situation to his benefit while simultaneously taunting his foes. Those Deisomnia kiddos stood no chance against his hacking powers, and even less of a chance against a misled Professor Train. It's these qualities that make Ortho fun to be around and also an interesting character. There's a lot of balance going on between his role as little brother and his exploration of what it means to be alive, and how that manifests due to his various influences. I suppose it can feel a little stereotypical to have the robot of some variety explore the ideas related to sentience, but perhaps because Ortho is humanoid, it doesn't come across that way to me, even though that arguably should make that sort of stereotype worse. While I've never played it myself, Detroit Become Human is a game that I found thoroughly fascinating. There are some concepts shared between its story and Ortho's, so I suppose that's part of why I enjoy Ortho's character as much as I do. What does it mean to be real, to have emotions, to think, to be human? Even as a human, I'm not sure I have answers, and whatever I can provide is going to be subjective, since it can only be based off my own experiences. Though I suppose that's where some of the joy of life comes from, right? The spontaneity of it all, the subtle differences, and whatnot. I guess what I'm trying to get at is that Ortho is a refreshing little brother because he encompasses more than what you expect him to. He's got all the key hallmarks of the little brother stereotype, of the android gaining sentience stereotype, and yet he explores those themes in a deeper way. And I think that the combination of all of these little factors is really interesting given what Ortho is on the surface. Plus, I just really like his gear designs. I think they're so neat, especially his fairy gala fit, because good lord is it gorgeous. All the little details, the fact that parts of him look like they might be hollow due to the lace detailing, giving him such a delicate appearance. The color change, the whole story revolving around what it means to evolve, and specifically what that means to Ortho now that he is in this state of being, and how the rest of the freshmen pitch in to help him discover that meaning. It's amazing. Beauté, full marks. It's a wonderfully wholesome event, and it also helps some of the other characters become a bit more relevant too. I was quite surprised that Ace was as perceptive as he was, because at the time of my first playthrough, I did not like Ace at all. Sebek being a bit of a tsundere was also surprising to me because all of the context I had for him outside of this event was completely different. Ortho handling all of it well and consciously recognizing feeling hope was just amazing. Even his chat with Riddle in his vignette for the event also furthered the conversation regarding all of these concepts and Ortho's own thoughts on the matter, which really helped me begin to like him. The star sending gear is also a fantastic design, and Ortho being the catalyst for Edea figuring out how to save the day was a nice continuation of this hopeful, you're telling me I got a chance attitude that Ortho has. His rabbit gear is impressive for a multitude of reasons, the first being that he made it so quickly. It was like, what, an hour, maybe 2 hours, and he made it look that good? Wild. Absolutely wild. Secondly, his quippy and vindictive nature came out onto full display due to the delinquent's misdeeds, adding more fuel to the fire that was already brewing in the group, which was all started due to an insult against his gear. And thirdly, the fact that he thought to add hopping mechanics in the short time frame that he had was remarkably lucky and also just kinda smart. His ceremonial robes gear is an Edea creation, but it is so elegantly beautiful, I don't think I have the words to describe it. This one and the fairy gala fit are my favorites out of all of his gears, with the rabbit gear closely behind. And yet I cannot articulate exactly why this gear is so high on my list. It's gotta be an aesthetic thing, but like, man, oh man, I love it so much. The Cerberus gear is also up there for me because he's a puppy. That's adorable. And the base card art is extremely cool. All those angles, man. Keeping your eyes busy. It's a wonderful composition. Oh, and I almost forgot that his Playful Land outfit existed. While it is unique, it is not my favorite of all the designs. That title is shared by Ernesto and Ace. But I do really like how they translated the toy soldier concept into a more modern technological form. The cape plating is a really neat detail, and the cricket is just such a cool little moment too. And now his sleepwear. Him as a little ram, a little sheepy sheep. Because you gotta count sheep to fall asleep, right? It's so cute. It's so gosh darn cute, I can't. He looks so cozy, and I appreciate them making his body a different shape, because I think it's just more fun for him to be in this giant nightgown and big poofy pajama pants. Isn't that what PJs are supposed to be about? Comfort and poof? I think so. Therefore, I've done my best to make this Rosette as cute and cozy as I possibly could with what I had on hand. Is it sheepy enough? Is it ortho enough? I'm not quite sure, so I'll leave y'all to be the judge of that, as I wish this lovely little guy a very merry birthday. Happy birthday to you, Ortho, and a hearty thanks to all of you lovely viewers for sticking it out through my ramblings. Please let me know your thoughts on Ortho, this Rosette, this video series, or anything else substantially Twisted Wonderlandy with a comment down below. If comments don't happen to be your thing, you could always like and subscribe instead to show your support. And before you go, I just have to remind you that you're amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful day.